Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jez7780 with What Grinds My Gears. I was like, my sound effects, some horse shit like that. Here's a sound effect for you guys. Here's a beer. I need one, right? So, what's up, Savage? How you doing, man? So, what a couple of days it has been. As you can tell, my voice is getting better, per se, but I was able to play some Crackdown 3. And I played a lot of it today. Almost done with it. It's got 2 more bosses left. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I want to talk about from what I played. So I've been playing on Xbox Anaconda. As you know, I got the Anaconda. I've been playing on it. Basically PC. So I did my Game Pass with Crackdown 3 and played probably about, I would say, an hour of multiplayer and probably around 5 hours of around the 5-hour mark of single player. And yeah, I'm not going to keep this super long because it is kind of late at night. It's a Friday. Probably people just want to be playing games, but I just wanted to get this out there because I just finished playing it and I wanted to just, get this on record. So it's fresh in my head from what I played. First thing I want to say is that on the PC, I've been playing basically with in 4K and running it in a kind of I have it at ultra settings, running it around 46, 50 frames per second, not in the lock 60 in the single player campaign. And I'm gonna tell you, the graphics, it looks clean. It's very clean, very sharp looking. Particle effects are there somewhat with the blowing up. I do think that Just Cause had definitely better fire effects and better effects per se with blowing up and sparks and stuff like that than Crackdown 3. And which is interesting is that as you know, I've been playing Just Cause 4, trying to finish that game up. And it's funny coming from that and going to Crackdown 3 and playing that. But the game, it looks. I think the videos that were shown, excuse me, at first were. It doesn't really look good because of what's up, Daniel? How you doing, man? It's because it's very flat. It's there's not a lot of amazing textures. There's lights and neon lights and stuff like that, but it's not very textual. Like it's very hard to explain. Like everything's just very flat and clean, very Tron-like, and but it's bright and vibrant. And as you know, PC doesn't have the HDR, so it's like I'm sure I don't know if the HDR how well it's implemented on the Xbox. I know there was some issues with it with the multiplayer. I'm not sure if that was in the single player, but it's clean looking. It looks clean. Terry Crews's face looks good. The cinematic in the beginning was great, but that's kind of the only time you see it. The rest of it's kind of like panels and motion of almost like comic bookish. You don't have a lot of transitions with that, but I have to say, graphic wise, it's not too bad. So I wouldn't trash it on the graphics part of it, and visual wise, and you'll see. I'll tie in this motif that I have this kind of feeling as I was playing the game, but the animations, though, if you're talking graphics and animations. Yeah, animations, character design, that is very lacking. The animations are not that great. When they pick up items, they kind of just like it just gets teleported to his hand because supposedly he has gravity gloves, and it just goes to the hand and goes up like it doesn't. It's not very smooth in that transition, so it does kind of look off-putting. If you watch some videos of people just picking up cards and throwing them, the card just kind of teleports to the hand and throws it. It looks a little rough. And that's kind of the motif of the game, is that it looks like it was put together very quickly. And the animations are basically very rough. Yeah, don't call me Dandy. The character models, the same from the waist down. It is a little rough with the animations, and it does take you out of it a little bit. And but the and also too, the getting in the car, the driving is absolutely like really bad. And I know if you get your driving level up, I remember the first Crackdown had a similar issue with like the driving, and then if you got your level up, you'll get better with turning and spinning out and things like that. But the driving and the car physics are not too great. When you crash into cars, like there's not that, you don't get that kind of visceral feel. It feels kind of weird, like sparks fly off and the car just kind of gets a little damage on it. One cool thing though is that if the car keeps getting shot at and stuff, at like there's definitely starts to deteriorate. Like there was one car that had like glasses on top, and the glass was just kind of like, it looked like it was gonna break and stuff like that. Which it was cool looking, but the cars themselves really, again, texture wise, it's very plain, very just clean. That's texture and animation and graphics. The biggest problem, and I think the biggest problem that a lot of people aren't really seeing, because you see a lot of people sharing screenshots going, lies, lies, lies. The reviewers are lying. But if you read the reviews, and not just look at the numbers, but you read the reviews and look at the comments that the people are saying, the problem lies in the gameplay. That's where the biggest challenge occurs when you're playing this game. It's the gameplay. When you're playing this game, you basically, it is structured like Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, where there's the boss. She has 3 main bosses, and then each of those have actually, excuse me, 2 of them have 2 sub bosses, and then one has 1 boss. What you have to do is basically a bunch of the same side mission to lure out the one boss. And it's funny because playing Far Cry 5, it was similar, where you had to accrue points to get to the boss, and the boss comes out, and then you'll fight the family member. But you could do a variety of missions. There was a whole bunch of different stuff. You could hunt down cars. You could take over outposts in Far Cry, and it was much more diverse. Each person has like one side mission, and the side mission is just blow up a laboratory. Basically, you come to this lab, and you just got to blow up a bunch of shiny like I don't know what the hell they are, like just shiny, like off, like just little holes in the wall, and you shoot those things, and then it pops up some sort of terminal that you got to blow up, and then it's done. So you shoot up, and as you're doing that, everybody's shooting at you. So you do that, and you got to do that like 5-6 times, and then that brings out the boss, and then you have the boss fight, which have been just no strategy really. Like you just throw everything you got at a boss. They're just a bullet sponge. Some of them do some like little regen, and all of them have kind of like 3 phases. Like either they go up the tower and you just got to climb up the tower after them, or some will just like regen with an orb, and you got to kill the orb. And then there's the other side mission is the same thing. You got to break. Yeah, you can. Well, I'll get into that. But the other side mission is like a bunch of grinders, right? And you just like to blow them up, and you blow up, and you do that once, and then it says 1 of 6. You got to do that 6 times. You go around to 6 different locations, blow that up, and now you draw out that sub boss. Then once you kill those 2 sub bosses, then you go after the main boss, who's usually in a tower. You go up there. I already killed both of them. I got 1 left. And then it unlocks the main boss. You can go to the tower. Now, don't call me Dan said you could go straight to the last boss. You can go straight to the last tower. What they do is that with each boss, sub-boss that you kill, basically a defense of the main tower gets taken away. So one guy has toxic. If you kill that sub boss that does toxic, then the toxic parts of that main tower then go away. One guy is a computer tech. Once you kill him, then the mobile turrets of the main tower of the last boss go away. So it will just be much more challenging if you don't kill these bosses. And but like in the Zelda, which I don't even want to put Zelda in the same name as Crackdown, but in that fact, you could go attack whatever boss you want. But again, they're not in a they're in a region, but they're not in a region per se. Like Zelda was definitely much more natural, like when you fought those bosses and went to that area, and it was just very organic. This is a bunch of side missions, things that you would do just to grind and to level up. These things you just do and blow up these little labs, or blow up these grinders, or blow up or kill 4 super agents, not super agents, 4 big guys with shields, and you kill those guys, 4 of them, and then you free a bunch of prisoners, and you have to do that 5 times, and then that will bring out that boss. So it's the same type mission, and each of those sub bosses have one mission that you do. There are also races, and there are also car races, and there are rooftop races. And that's about it for the missions. You could, and the rest of it is really just orb hunting and looking for DNA to unlock other agents, which really are just skins. They don't do anything. They don't have any special powers. Your agent doesn't get, if you choose Terry Crews or just a random guy, they all get the same powers. They just level up the same way. And that's about it. You do get abilities as you level up with your orbs. Like you could do an air dash if you keep getting the agility orbs. I've been doing explosives, so I've just been blowing up everything with rocket launches. But the one thing, though, the reviews really didn't focus on too much is I do like the weapon variety. There's a lot of different weapons. They're all different types of elemental weapons. There's poison, there's freezing, there's burning. Excuse me. There's and each one has different effects. If you're in like the toxic area, if you pick up one of their guns and shoot them with the toxic, they'll be immune to it. So there is that kind of, I would not say Borderlands type thing, but that kind of thing where like there's elemental guns and things along those lines. So they do have some weapon variety, and the enemy variety is there somewhat, but it is a slog. And the problem I have is just that it seems rushed, and it seems so it has potential. Like it has potential in the fact that it is not a broken game. And I think that's where a lot of like reviews are saying that it's broke. Like, yo, this thing's like 2s and 3s. It's broken. It's not broken. It's just lacking again. Like another instance where a first party game is just it's there. Like there's a good base there. And you could just think about so many other things that they could be doing to fully fledge this out. And they didn't. And it's concerning because it's not that this developer, this like they just it's just so concerning coming from Microsoft that you have to say, do you guys know how to make, like you look like you're there. You just got to take it to the next level, guys. Like you can't just give us this skeleton of a game, of the skeleton of an open world, and not flesh it out, and not give us like, have your agent have abilities, make the co-op. You want to know something? Yeah, but though my voice was better. Do you know what's something that's crazy? In co-op, it's 2-player co-op, right? They went from 4 to 2. You cannot get in the car at this together and go to a mission. And the stupidest thing about that is that when you have to go to a mission or go to an area, it's like, each of you have to get into a car and drive. You can't just get in the car and say, let's go to the mission together. And what happens is that you wind up separating from each other. Me and Frog were trying to get into the car, could not get in a car together, no matter if it was a truck, a van, a regular car, our agent vehicle. You cannot get in the truck together for a co-op game. And you just scratch your head going, who made this? Is this a college project? And that's what just boils me. It just boils me because I'm playing this game going, who designed this? What the fuck is this? You can't get in a car together and go to the mission. So then I would get in the car, he would get in the car, and then there's no waypoints. So if I tag something, he'll see it on his map, but it doesn't do a waypoint for you to say this is how you drive there. So we end up going different ways. And with the one thing is that there's no tethering. Like he could be doing a mission and I could be doing a mission, and kind of that's what we did. We wound up just doing our own thing. And he unlocked a safety, a respawn point, so then I can respawn over there. You can't respawn on your guy, on your partner in co-op. And you can't get in a car together, but he could do a mission and kill a base, and I could do a base, which I thought that part was cool. Because at least, but that's not the idea of co-op though. Like you want to be doing the mission together, reviving each other, doing things together. There's no kind of co-op moves. You don't do a combo or anything like that. I saw that. I'll talk about that, Daniel. I saw that. What's up, Meds? How you doing, man? Yeah, I was playing it. Almost done with the game, Meds. It's not a lot of a game, I'll tell you that. When we said the multiplayer was sparse, the single player is pretty sparse. But it's something that's there. And I'm saying it's not broken, but there's too much shit that's broken. And it's not fully thought out. Crackdown was co-op. That was fun with co-op, but you can't get in the car together. I can't spawn on my player like Halo. Like, hey, if he's in a firefight, I understand, but I can't spawn on him. I got to spawn. It just seems like I got to spawn at a respawn spot, which seems like it negates the whole purpose of co-op, keeping your guys together in an open world. Every instance, I'm not near my co-op partner. I can't get in the car with them. I can't spawn on them, and I spawn at a waypoint somewhere else, and I got to get to them. And you wind up just fucking around doing your own thing. And it's like, hey, if I come across you in my world, I'll come across you in my world. Like, it is what it is. Like, you have to coordinate more to try to find out where the hell each other are on the map. It shouldn't be that hard. Not in a co-op game. And there's no reliance besides reviving. There's no benefit of co-op besides reviving of each other. And they give you like 30 seconds, like while you're down. You can't crawl, do anything. You just sit there and you wait. Or you could just respawn. So the co-op, it's pretty sad. But Meds, I'm glad you came in here because Meds is not going to like this one fucking bit. So, hear this. I didn't know how. Get ready. Get ready. Here it is. I know Windows Central posted it, and I can confirm it. On the PC, I told you I was playing around 50 frames per second in 4K. Go down to 46 and 50. I did co-op with Frogs Dope Gaming. He was on the X. I was on PC, or as I call it, Xbox Anaconda. I'm from the future. I'm just telling you, I have the Anaconda right here. It locked me at 30 frames per second on PC. I had the ticker up, and it did not budge from 30 frames per second. It dumbs down the PC version and locks it at 30. And I was running it well over 20 or 25, 26 frames more, almost 60 frames on that setting. There's your fucking cross-play, cross-promotion compromises. Phil Spencer, one fucking world. Here we come. Fuck you. You pay all that money on a computer, and then you want to go cross-play with your friends, and it drops the frames to the console 30 frames per second. So when Good Daddy Phil gets on stage and talks about this fucking kumbaya, everybody wants to play where they want. This is the fuck shit they don't tell you about. And this is the shit that comes to the surface when Johnny's on his phone and Fred's on his computer and guys are on their consoles and little Sammy's on his iPad. There are only certain games that work like that. Minecraft, Roblox. But there are games, not every game does this shit, and it doesn't work. No PC guy wants to play at 30 frames when he was running at higher frames per second in this game. Lock 30 frames because he wants to play with his buddy. Now, I don't know if you do crossplay with PC, if it locks it, but I'm thinking that it locks it at 30 frames per second because we know what this is. This game is a rush job, Game Pass fodder, Netflix original. Budget title. It's a budget. Like the PC can run it at higher frames per second. I don't understand. Yeah. But it's fun, right? It's fun. Yay, it's fun. Yay. It's all about fun. I'm going to tell you this. It's as much fun as going on like a slide or like a roller coaster. You wait in line for 3 fucking hours and you get a little bit of 10 minutes of fucking woo, 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 woo. If you went to an amusement park, everybody, and that was the only ride there, would you pay $60 to wait 2 hours or 5 fucking years to say, well, you know what? It's a good 15, 20 minutes of fun. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. You knew where I was going with it. You knew where I was going with it. I'll wait in line for 5 years. You know, it's a good 30 minutes. We got 6 fucking bosses. You could beat it in 6 hours. You know. It's fun. Would you pay $60? With broken shit like that. The co-op is broke. The co-op is broke. It does everything in its power to keep you separated. There's no benefit in playing co-op except the guy could get revived. Or the other guy could do some more missions so you don't have to do them because they're a slog. They're the same missions. Like I said, you want to blow up the grinder? Do that 5 times. There are 5 grinders. Go blow up 5 grinders. Oh, wait a second. You need to shoot these little targets. They're just targets on the side. It makes sense. Shoot 5 targets to blow up the grinder. And then do that 1 out of 5. Do it 5 more times. And then the bad guy will come out. You shoot him. And then he's dead. And you only do that. There's 6 bosses. That's it. You spend more time climbing the tower and then you shoot them. There's no strategy in fighting them. They just run around with a shield and you just watch their energy go down. And that's the game. That's your campaign. That's Terry. Oh, it's fucking Terry Crews, right? He's in there for the first 5 minutes. They got his face. He don't talk. He says a little line like, he goes like, oh shit. He says that maybe a couple times. That's about it. He don't really talk or converse or anything like that. Even the little cut scenes, like after you kill the boss, like you throw the guy into like a fire pit or they blow up or something like that, they look so rough. They're not smooth. Everything looks, the animations are rough as shit. And the only time I say that's Crackdown, you know what? That's Crackdown 2007. Well, come on. 2019. And like all the reviews said, I do agree with them that so many games have taken that model and have done so much better with it. The world, there's just people. You could run them over. You could throw them. That's great. The cars suck. There's not a lot of car. Like it's really, yeah. It's sad. Like it's a shell of a game. And the campaign is very lackluster. Like it's fun to blow up stuff, and you might do a little highlight clip of blowing up some things, but after about an hour or two, when you realize there's not a lot of like, I know that like Assassin's Creed, those Ubisoft games, Watch Dogs, they got a lot of icons all over the screen. My big thing in open world games is mission variety. What I like in open world games is I like to have a story mission pathway that has a narrative and maybe even some cutscenes to feel like I'm going somewhere with it, right? And then I have my, side missions. But actually side missions have evolved a lot ever since The Witcher, The Witcher 3, Red Dead, side missions have almost become as good as the main missions somewhat. That was one of the biggest things with The Witcher, And they weren't like these collectibles. And then you have collectibles, right? So you got your collectibles, but you do have like a main narrative story, which you progress through the story with, and it ties characters together. And typically what I look for in an open world game is that those narrative story missions in the open world differ a little bit, have something a little like maybe a different gameplay twist or some sort of expansion to what you've been doing, something that's different, that doesn't feel like a side mission. And it's amazing if some of the side missions are not collectathons or just blow up this generator. And I can tell you from Just Cause has a lot of like just like run around, click here, do this, do that stuff. But there are chases, and then, oh shit, you want to talk Spider-Man? There are car chases, there's kidnapping, there's like come on, Crackdown's all about crime and all this other stuff. There's like prison cars, even Far Cry. Prison cars, there's mortar strike areas. There could be guys just doing crime. There could be a robbery. Any interiors? There's no interiors in Crackdown, but there's no variety. There's no crime. There's nothing to let you use your powers, use different weapons. It's just go to one of 6 different type of side missions, hit the little targets on the thing, and blow it up. Or hack a terminal by holding LB. It opens up a little explosive unit. Then you got to go to the other side, blow that up, do that 3 times, and then that section's done. Yeah, chasing pigeons. Chasing pigeons in Spider-Man. Every one of the missions that you do to draw out the boss is basically a chasing fucking pigeon mission. That's what it is. It's a little mission. And I've been playing Just Cause, just getting ready, because I like open world games. Red Dead, that's a slog, but Red Dead has a lot of narrative in it, but there's a lot of there's variety. Train car things, that There's nothing in here. It's almost like a shooting gallery. It's like, oh yeah, go shoot those machines, go shoot that machine, go shoot those mine carts, go shoot this, and that's it. And let people say that that's Crackdown. Okay, no, maybe that's what Crackdown was, but you need to evolve. This is Crackdown 3. This is not Crackdown the remaster. This is 3. All right, and we're in 2019. I'm not even talking about the development time of this game. But it was, I think, they put this game together in probably a year or two. Like when they introduced Terry Crews, they probably just started making the single player. They had, like, that's what it feels like. Because even if you just open up the boss tree and look, it's 1, 3, and 4. There's 1, 3, 3. There's one boss. There's 3 sub bosses. Then there's 2, 1, and 2. That's your game. That's it. And to get out each of those bosses, it is one side mission done 5 times or 6 times to get out each of the bosses. And then when you fight the one boss, he would go up a tower. The science guy went up a tower 3 times. So it is a shell of a game. So much potential. It could be there if the people making it and the people who published it knew how to make a game. Or let's turn this all around. What about if this game was intentionally made this way for our good old Game Pass? And that's what this is. This is like Netflix originals when Netflix originals just started and didn't have the budget like Stranger Things and stuff. This is like, that's what this is. And that's it, TJ. Game Pass is an excuse now for mediocrity. These are your tentpole games. I said this last night on Press Start. Crackdown 3 was one of the first games that was announced for Game Pass when they announced Game Pass last year. It was Crackdown, it was Sea of Thieves, and State of Decay 2. Wasn't even Forza. Those are the 3 games that were getting announced for Game Pass when they said games are coming day and date. And how did those 3 games turn out? Remember, those were the tentpole games. Forza Horizon wasn't even announced then. When they announced their games are coming to Game Pass day and date, it was the trifecta of 60s. Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2. Those are the 3 games that they announced for Game Pass. And what have we found at those 3 games? Sea of Thieves has so much potential. People play the game and going, oh man, they could have did this. They could have did this. They could have had a narrative. They could have had this kind of mission. It became 3 fetch quest missions. And then they added a shark. And then they added Volcano Island. They still didn't add the rest of the Kraken. He's still the 5 sea dicks that come out of the water. They added a little dinghy boat. They added fog. They added a skeleton boat. Oh, but that's the content a year later, everybody. That's the content. Oh, and now they're making an arena shooter because you want to know what? The game, excuse me, the game has such wonderful combat with the sword play and the janky-ass guns and the slow-ass reload animations. It definitely begs for some sort of competitive or deathmatch arena. Oh, yeah. That's the worst part of the fucking game. But they're going to highlight it in some arena bullshit. Then you go to State of Decay 2. State of Decay 2. So much potential, right? No shared worlds. Tethering with your friend. You did all you only advance your friend's world when you play co-op. You do not advance your own world. You could take some loot back. No dedicated servers. No cooperative base building. All jank ass shit. The game State of K2 was known for its jank and its bad frame rate and problems. State of K1. State of K2 comes out with a new engine, has the same jank. It's a new engine. New engine. Same jank, same bad frame rate, but just design decisions. No dedicated service. The power of Microsoft, first party or second party deal. No co-op base building. No co-op advancement of your story. You just doing your friends' work. Whoever's the lead person, you just do their campaign, but you could take some of the loot back to your game. But you start differently. You start back at the beginning. Who's thinking of this stuff? The game is built on co-op. Now, we come to Crackdown 3. I already told you about the co-op issues. On PC, it locks you at 30 frames per second. You can't get in the car together and drive to a mission. And you can't spawn on your friend. You got to go spawn at another location. Who designs this stuff? Crackdown for co-op. I have no clue. But these are the tentpole games from Microsoft Studios. And it's sad because when you watch Crackdown 3 in the beginning, they try to make it this big production game. But you could see right through it that it's just a fancy trailer. It's just trailer stuff. Because once you get into the game, you realize it's not that, it's spectacle. And they have like presented by Sumo Digital and Microsoft Studios proudly presents. And it's like, it's sad. It's unfortunate. I know I was listening. I just jumped into them. Listen, this review stuff, I'm telling you now, from what I'm going to get into the blue multiplayer thing, but I'm telling you now, my impression of playing the game, and I'm almost done with it, about 5 hours in, is the lack of content, the lack of mission variety, the poor implemented boss battles, and just bad gameplay, and poor animations. You can't put lipstick on a fucking pig. Just because it's sharp in 4K, bring the boom, that's not the game. That might be part of it. It looks pretty on 4K picture on Twitter, but you can't play a still picture. And that's the challenge with it. It's like, it just seems so void of story and animation and life. And this world. And I'm going to tell you the biggest problem that all these people that are claiming reviews kill. Microsoft killed Crackdown, the brand. It's fucking over. It's over. This game does not do anything for the Crackdown franchise at all. In fact, what it does, it digs a fucking 6-foot fucking hole and puts a fucking casket in it and piles it up and seals it off. He's in there now. Crackdown's down there. Conker's down there. That's it. Microsoft killed the fucking IP. It's done. Rise is down there. Sunset buried them all. Microsoft fucking killed them all. This does nothing for Crackdown. Nobody's going to be asking about Crackdown 4. And nobody is going to be saying the cloud tech from Crackdown is in our game. Nobody's going to say that shit. And in fact, this does so much negativity for the cloud because whatever the cloud is doing, it's not making the game any better. So when the cloud is not an instant win, and what Microsoft has done by just sending Crackdown 3 out there to die, they killed the franchise. They killed the fucking franchise. Nobody wants Crackdown. And this supposedly was Phil's baby. We're going to get shout out 24-5 people watching. Hit the like button, share the video. We're going into multiplayer right now. What's that? What's that? Before I go into the multiplayer, that's my grind. I my fancy sound effects, you know. Actually, that's with the Microsoft budget. That's what I'm allowed to do. That's Microsoft budget effects right there. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's the power of Microsoft's funding and money. That's the sound effects we get going on over here. I'm not saying people should not like the game. If you like Crackdown, fine. It plays like Crackdown 1. It's not a lot of it, but it's there. It's a 6-hour campaign. Working on Project Anaconda right there. It's a 6-hour campaign. There's no, like, it's not like, oh my God, fight for this game, because there's so much content. There's so much life in this game. There's so much to want from this game. It's a bare bones game. You could finish. You could just wrap it up in a day. And completionists, maybe you double your time when you go look for orbs and jump around. Yeah. Are we gonna say make your own fun? You know, little Johnny, get a couple of sticks and rocks. Go sit in the park and have a fucking fun time. Don't go play with the kids over there. Get over there. Here's your rocks. Here's a stick. Go go make yourself some fun. Have a good time. What are we in the 1950s? Go take your magnifying glass. Go try to make little burn marks in the ground. Go have some fun. I'm not all for this make your own fun bullshit. We're in 2019, okay? I got 7.1 fucking speakers in the ceiling, 4K TVs, controllers, vibrations, 4K. Entertain me. Don't tell me I gotta go make fucking fun. I spend $500 on a fucking box. I go spend thousands of dollars on TVs. I go buy $60 for your fucking game. And then I'm supposed to say, I got to go make my own fun? I got to go find fun in your game? I spent all this money. You fucking entertain me. You make me want to play. So I don't believe that bullshit. Make your own fun. Make your own fun is for dreams. That's for what is the create your own games like Little Big Plan. Make a game, that's something different. But when you build a world, and I'm supposed to sit here. CFDs, make your own fun. I'm supposed to make my own fun. All right, so let's go Sea of Thieves. So I'm supposed to sit here in front of my fucking entertainment center. I'm supposed to put on a pirate hat and go, arr, arr, arr. And that's what I'm supposed to do? To have a good time in Sea of Thieves? Go, arr, make my own fun? Fuck that. You spent a whole shit ton of money. They made a game for fucking 4 years. You entertain me. You keep me engaged. You tell me why I need to play more of your game. Because there are so many fucking games out there. I don't have time for that. I told you this already. I don't have time for mediocrity. I don't have time getting jerked off by Phil Spencer and his fucking studios. I got plenty of things to do. And I'll tell you right now, You fucking people talking years, 3 years. You know what the fuck 3 years of technology is? We're gonna be on the fucking moon. 3 years of technology. We're playing fucking holograms. 5, yeah, the games are coming 4 or 5 years from now. For fucking 5 years. In technology years? The fuck out of here. Entertain me. Don't fucking waste my time. I'm boot up a game. What am I supposed to do? Go explore. Push up on the stick. Go find something. Go figure out what you need to do. What? No. You make that game engaging. You make me want to play it. So, when people go, it's fun. I like collecting all the agility orbs. This game is a great game. That's nice. But don't go, oh, this is an 85 because I like to jump around and collect agility orbs. That's fucking media bias. And speaking of media biased, did you see Aaron Greenberg? He has nowhere to go. He got nowhere to go. Aaron fucking Greenberg retweets a fan YouTube review? What? He can't go curl up IGN's ass. He can't go to GameSpot. They gave him fucking 5s. He probably took them all out to dinner when they got to play fucking Crackdown in the beginning of February. They gave him fucking 5s. They gave him a kick in the ass. He had to scour the bowels of YouTube to find somebody who liked fucking Crackdown and showed that it has life and retweeted a fan video. Please, if he likes the game and he made the video, good on him. But don't you, as a fucking Xbox executive, use that as propaganda to promote your game when it is getting fucking shitted on and wiped everybody's ass with, and make it look like this game is successful. Please don't look at that and then go out there and say media bias. Media bias? He's retweeting a fan video. That is the most biased you can get. Like, it's nice if he likes it and supports the fan. But please, don't retweet a review because we all see it is at a 60. And did you see? Now we're going to talk about multiplayer if they got on that fucking rant about make your own fun. Because I just feel like that's a common. The reason why I had a rant about that shit is because I feel like that's the excuse. It's either it's in Game Pass and it's fun. You make your own fun with your friends. That's the excuse. You make your own fun with your friends. It's only in Game Pass. What the fuck is being on Xbox a fucking charity case? Is it really? Because it's the most expensive console. I don't think people go pay $500 to go have these excuses that it's on Game Pass, that it's not even worth $60 games. What? I just can't even think and fathom that excuse. It's fun. I just spent thousands of dollars on electronics, but the thing that I could do with my electronics, it's okay. It's mediocre. It's only for $1. Guys, you've heard this before, and I think it's perfect time to revisit it again. Please hit that like button because this is coming right now. Ready? We're going raw. It's fucking midnight. Let's go. Game Pass is, I said this before, Cheech in front of the fucking titty twister it's Phil Spencer on stage. I just pictured a titty twister bar behind him from dusk till dawn. And he's like this, guys. Here he is, E3 2019. Here he comes. Phil. Guys, come on in. We got all the games you want. Oh, yeah, we got good games. We got shitty games. We got smelly games. We got hairy games. We got games that just come in from indie games. We got all these games. Oh, come on in, everybody. We got all these games. If you don't want it, we don't have it. Come on. And then he goes like this. We got it for only $1. Game Pass for only $1. If you can find it cheaper, fuck it. And there's your Game Pass commercial for E3 2019. I know my Cheech impression's really bad. But that's it. It's a titty twister. They got all different types of games in Game Pass. But you want to know what? The shitty games, the smelly games, the hairy games seem to be coming from the first party studios. Don't you think? All the shitty games, the smelly ones, are coming from them. They're shitting in their own bed. Who wants to sleep in a bed when somebody's shitting in it? I think the moves from the third-party people like Shadow of the Tomb Raider and even indies guys, those are good moves. But the current new content that they're putting in there, it fucking sucks. And again, is it just going to be Halo, Gears, and Forza? Who knows? That's it. But the rest of it is Game Pass fodder. Yep, from dusk till dawn. Just go watch that skit. I don't even know. I don't think I have it prompted up here. I'm on my Microsoft Games budget right now. I don't have those clips and the fancy effects. I'm on the Terry Myerson budget, as everybody would say. That's Satya Nadella budget. Sorry, guys. Lucky I have a fucking microphone. But now you want to talk shitty games. You want to talk shit. Let's talk about the multiplayer. Coming from, this has got to be, and I'm really surprised because the campaign is the thing that really got trashed the most in these review scores. Yeah, Shadow Tomb Raider in there is really nice. I said all that stuff is good. It's just the shitty stuff is coming from them. But multiplayer, if this hasn't been the biggest slap in the face, and this is where it hurts, because you think the people who created Xbox Live And the Phil's 3 C's: content, community. I still can't figure the last one. Creation? Well, it's a cocksucker. I don't know. I keep forgetting the last C. But he talks about the 3 C's. And I just don't understand the game design. Who thought about this shit? We know about the party thing. I already ranted about that shit. But I'm talking about no progression. All your 9 weapons are unlocked already. And when I say 3 maps, and 2 game modes. Yes, the power of the cloud brings it all together. And the destruction that was powered by the cloud. And it is just bare bones. It could have been like a $10 indie multiplayer mode. Like, I think indie games for $15 got more content than that multiplayer. Shit, even maybe more content than the single player. Some games for $20, $25, just as much, really, because that's what it feels like. It does not feel like a $60 package at all. At all. In fact, I think what they're doing is purposely overpricing these games for $60 so that you would be forced to play it in Game Pass. I think they make these games going, you should not buy that for $60. You should go buy that in Game Pass. I think. Because if you look about it, Sea of Thieves really didn't drop in price until the holiday, right? I think on sale like $40, $50. It stayed $60 for a long time. Well, typically when Microsoft releases a game, it usually 3-4 months, it goes down to like 40 or something like that. Sea of Thieves kept it. And now this game comes out and everybody's like, no way, $60. No way. And now we're at a Crackdown. That game is not $60. That multiplayer, 3 maps. 3 arena-style maps. I remember Smooth telling me it's PUBG. PUBG had 1 map. PUBG, the fucking huge open world map with different areas on it. These are arena maps. These are 3 arena maps. Three arena maps. I just don't understand who says let's put 3 maps in the game. And nonetheless, they brought out Joseph Staten. I just don't understand how they ruined that guy too. He made the story of Halo. He worked on Halo. And they have him coming out there to talk about the shell of a game, Crackdown. With the 6 bosses, beat it in 6 hours. Like, I don't get it. They trotted out Joseph Staten. Remember how we celebrate in the streets when they get the guy who drew the 4K horse nuts from Naughty Dog and from Rockstar, and the 4K horse nuts now gets hired by the new Microsoft studio. And the lady who put the stickers on the boxes when she shipped the games for Sony now works on Microsoft Studios. We celebrate. Oh, look who's working now. The guy who drew the 4K balls. He's over there. He's on Microsoft's team now. We got 4K balls. Joseph Staten came back to Microsoft. He said, fuck you, Destiny. I'm going back to Xbox. And Joseph Staten comes up with Crackdown 3? Story? Campaign? That's why. Calm the fuck down, everybody, of who's hiring who. It's like a snake without a head over there. I don't think Phil Spencer knows what a fucking game is. And if you want to say, let's talk about the studios, let's talk about the studios, because Phil Spencer, Crackdown 3 was his baby. I did it on my last show. I read the tweets going, we're giving you the gameplay you deserve, the game that you deserve. That's what they said. They delayed this for you, and you, and you. They delayed this game for the fans. They delayed it for the fans. All those guys at E3 bleeding green, wearing the Xbox jerseys. Phil. They did it for you. They delayed Crackdown to give you a better experience, to give you the game that you deserve. That's what they've been telling you for the last 2 fucking years. This is the game you deserve. This is the fans' game. Phil's baby to you. So let's sit and listen to the promises they're making now about what they want to do. Because for the last 2 years, they have fluffed your balls and told you this Crackdown game is being delayed from November 7th, 2017 to next spring. And then for next spring, they go, oops, we meant February 2019, guys. Sorry about that. We're off a year or so. To give you the game that you, the Xbox fan, deserves. We got to make sure it plays like Crackdown. The city is lively. I played it with Shannon Loftus, Phil said in January 2017. Why does it matter if I'm excited for Crackdown 3? I like Microsoft IP. I wanted them to bring back Crackdown. I liked Crackdown 1. I played Crackdown 2 at fucking PAX East 2010. When they had multiplayer there, I played it there for the first time, and I was hyped for Crackdown 2. I played Crackdown 2. But see, I don't let my mind go, was I excited for Crackdown 2? Am I just hating on Crackdown 2? Because I talk about Crackdown 3 because this game is the quality that we have been getting from Microsoft. No, it is just an example of when you put it together of all the games that they have been releasing, besides the Gears, Forza, and Halo. What are they doing? They've killed Killer Instinct. Why Killer Instinct is not continuing on adding characters? Where the fuck is Season 3? Where's Season 4? What are we doing here? They're selling us hardware with no software. And the software they're putting out, they're lying to our face, telling me it's for me, and this is the gameplay, and it's getting 5s and 4s. Because I use this game and what they have been providing to us to show this is what they're going to continue to give us. And the narrative is also changing with the review sites. They are also calling this out, going, this is probably what Microsoft's going to give us. Shells of games for Game Pass. And if you think that these 7-10 fucking studios that they got are coming out with Last of Us's and Gods of Wars and all these other fucking games and next Halos, they're not. Fuck, they're not. The only one that might do it may be the Initiative. The rest of them are making Game Pass fucking fodder. And guess what? They're not even making it for fucking Xbox. They're going to make it for fucking your phone, for fucking your computer, for fucking the iPads. They're making it for everything. That's why they're Xbox Game Studios. They make games for everybody, like fucking Toys R Us. So these studios are not dedicated console manufacturers making games for the $500 piece of fucking hardware. They're not. They're making games for your fucking phone. Wait, I can't wait to see Ninja Theory's next game. I bet you it's a fucking puzzle game. I bet you it's a fucking card game for your cell phone. And then people are going to realize that these studios, they didn't buy these studios to make blockbuster games because it's lost money. It's lost money. They're not going to make a big budget game and throw it in Game Pass for a fucking $1. That makes no sense. The only reason why they're doing this now is desperation, because they want to get people to see this model. They are sacrificing their IP to promote this fucking model of Game Pass, because they want to sit back and watch other people use it and then sit back and collect the royalties. That's what they want to do. I hope Ninja Theory makes a great game. I hope the Initiative makes a fucking great game. But the Initiative, we're talking, guys, are we going to be here? Are we going to be when they decide to come out with a game? First of all, you got to use the examples of the past, right? The Coalition is a brand new studio, right? Listen, Coalition is a brand new studio. They were the Vermont, they were the what was it, Vancouver studio, right? They basically, Rod Ferguson came in and just turned it around because they had a new IP coming on. Rod Ferguson came in and said, no, we're making Gears. You saw what Gears 4 was. Rod Ferguson said on Electric Playground this week, Gears 4 was safe. It was the studio's first game. And they wanted to play it safe to make sure that they can make a Gears game. Okay? Go look at what that Gears game came. It was a safe game. It was their first game studio. It was their first game together. So the Initiative is a ragtag group of people that have talent. But to think that they're going to be working 5 years on a game and it comes out and it is a banger, it is a game of the year, it is something that knocks you off your feet, that is expecting a lot. Look at Uncharted. Uncharted 1 was a fucking, like, whatever. It was not a game. It was like, whatever. It looked pretty. It was like, oh, that was cool. But it had bullet sponge enemies. Like, Uncharted was not, and that was from Naughty Dog, who made a bunch of games. But that was like their kind of first adventure game. It took Uncharted 2 to put that game on the map. These developers that they're making, first off, a lot of them are already in projects, and they're already going to come out with multiplayer games like Obsidian, which that's great. But Obsidian is not even touching the next level of what Microsoft purchased had to do with them. They're going to release their game, and then they'll start making their other game. So we're not going to see that for a long time. The benefits of the Obsidian purchase. Probably not 4 years, 3 years. Unless, like Matt Booty said himself, they bought these studios not to have certain genres. They bought these studios because they liked the vision of these developers to make games for Game Pass. He says that they bought these studios to make content for Game Pass. And that is the 3 C's that Phil speaks about. Content, creation, and community. Content. They need to be pumping out games for Game Pass. And if they need to pump them out, when I say pump them out, look at how deep Crackdown 3 goes. And this is an example of a game. And same thing with Sea of Thieves. They worked on it a long time, but they pumped it out with a lack of content. These guys hopefully don't make Game Pass fighter games, and they make some good games. But you got to question the quality control and the message that Microsoft is sending to us with this stuff. Because their first party needs to have these tentpole games. They need to have this stuff. You can't just keep throwing old-ass games into Game Pass and thinking people are going to stay subscribed. You will have some people that stay subscribed. And is that enough for them? I don't know. Maybe they want... I don't know what they fucking want. All I know is that the quality out of them has been a question for the last couple of years now. This is not just one game. Okay? And I thought Crackdown, when Phil said that he was going to make this game better, because what we saw wasn't really that great. And when they put it in hibernation, I thought maybe they were going to fix it up. And when they saw the quality of what was coming out of Sony, maybe Phil's like, you know what? Bring that Crackdown back here. We're going to make this special for everybody. And that's what I thought. And it even looked good at E3. It looked good at E3 last year. But then it got suspicious because they really didn't show that much. I'm like, why are they just showing a clip? Why is it not playable? What's going on here? But I understand, Fonz. I understand that you don't like Crackdown, and it's just a Crackdown game. But what does it do? What does it do for the brand? Crackdown fans, they're dead. It's over. Crackdown fans are not happy because guess what? They're not getting a Crackdown 4. They're not getting it. Crackdown's dead for them. The franchise is done. It's done. This has done nothing to give any respect. It's the respect for the franchises and the IP. Look what they did with Voodoo Vince. That's their IP. They just dug it up and redid it and threw it out there. They have no respect for the IP that they have. They were showing a little bit of it with Killer Instinct. I like that. But you need the IP because that's what makes you unique. It's not even the exclusives anymore. It's the IP. Because when everybody's in it, but that doesn't do anything to expand the market. If you like Crackdown, you like Crackdown 3. No, those reviews, Crackdown 1 didn't get those kind of fucking reviews. This game's getting destroyed. This game's getting destroyed. It's not fair. The quality. And if we remember, Crackdown got fans because they put Halo with Crackdown. Nobody was buying the Crackdown game. They threw the Halo in there, and then all of a sudden, Crackdown got a fan following with it. And then they try to expand it with Crackdown 2. They kind of killed it. But again, they jerked off with studios. They roughed the guy, Dave Jones, who made the first game. I think his name was Dave Jones, who made the first game, left. And they had Ruffian, the second one. Well, it wasn't Ruffian. It was somebody else. They fucked around the studios. Then they brought him back for Crackdown. And remember, when this was revealed, it wasn't revealed as Crackdown 3. It was just called Crackdown. Like almost like a rebranding, a redo of Crackdown. And then it turned into Crackdown 3. And like I said, I'm not here to say you shouldn't like the game. If you like the game, fine. I just played it for 6 hours. And I'm telling you, if you like it's fun. But when you look at what the game is, it is 6 bosses. It is done in a blink of an eye. The campaign is done. Actually, it's shorter than the first game. It is 1 main boss, 3 sub-bosses, and 6 regular bosses. And to get those bosses to fight them, you do 1 type of side mission 6 to 7 times to get them out. And there is your single player. Now, if you love Crackdown 1 and you want to jump around and collect orbs, yo, great on you. I'm not telling you that there's something wrong with you. That's great for you. But universal opinion and what this has done with the brand, and we know it's a business, and we know it's about money, and it's about our money and what we should spend it on. That's who I'm speaking for as a consumer. And this, now a multiplayer, is a kick in the balls and a slap in the face. Because this is the thing. If the single player suffered because the multiplayer was what they promised, or what they advertise or what they couldn't shut the fuck up about, then fine. But when you look at the multiplayer and what it is today and think that that cloud ruined Crackdown, the single player, maybe the single player would have been bigger and better if they weren't fucking with the cloud. And they just made a game for Crackdown fans instead of making a game for the fucking cloud. And that's my problem. They're trying to make a game for the tech rather than the gamer. And if you don't fucking see that, now I call you out. You got to see that. Because that's the problem. Microsoft is making games for the tech, not for the gamer. And we see it. And I'm glad the reviewers are calling that shit out. Because they realize it's about the tech from Microsoft. It's about using Havoc. It's about using Cloud. It's about using water effects and Sea of Thieves. It's not about the game. It's got to be about the game. You got to want to tell a story. You got to want to keep people engaged. Not every game's a Minecraft. Not every game is a bunch of Lego pieces and people just have fun. There are certain games that works with, but you can't make that every game. But you got to make a game for the gamer. And when you look at the multiplayer of Crackdown 3, and it's 3 maps, 2 game modes, no progression, no party invites, it boots you back to the menu after you finish a game. You don't even stay into the next map. You got to go back into matchmaking. Are we in fucking the Stone Ages of online gaming? Is this the Nintendo Switch? The Nintendo Switch has better fucking matchmaking and game things than this game. That's a disgrace. And you're paying $60 fucking dollars for that experience on Xbox. It kicks you back to the game mode. It keeps you back to the menu, and you rematch make. And the gameplay in the multiplayer, the destruction does nothing. It does nothing. You still stay locked on the people when they go through walls. You slam through walls. It does nothing. It adds just ambiance of like, oh my God, it's so chaotic. But when you realize that you can't get hurt by it, it's like, what? Then you just run through it. You're like, who cares? Like, it's like running through grass. Like, who gives a shit? Because it doesn't matter. And it's disgusting because to think about that game mode, you would think the multiplayer would be so fleshed out because they focused on the cloud so much that, okay, the single player suffered from it. But both suffer. Both are bare bones. Both are poor in game design. And that's the problem. It's game design decisions. It's not graphics. It's not colors. It's not 4K. It's game design. Sea of Thieves. I said it from the beginning that it had such a griefing aspect that it's going to just grief the shit out of you. People are going to wait on, and that's what happened. And then they had to come out with the pirate code and and then they got to take away the PC players because they're fucking with everybody. If you balance the game accordingly, maybe put an area where you cannot be attacked, like a safety zone, to balance people griefing and things like that, and hiding on the ship and the sleep animation and your shit to steal your stuff, and using the game mechanics to just troll people. Maybe if you thought about game design, it would have been a better experience rather than now and you have to fluster now and going, oh, we'll have an update soon. We're going to balance this out. You'll vote out PC people. And now you look at Crackdown. Can't get in the car together in co-op. What? Is this a cell phone game or some shit? I'm playing with another player. It's not fucking 4 people. God forbid it was 4 people. The fucking game will probably break. 2 people, and we can't get in a car to go to the mission. Instead, I got to get in a car. He got to get in a car, and then we got to try to get our way to the waypoint, even though there's no fucking waypoint. We wound up being separated anyway. That's a design decision. Who comes up with that shit? Who makes a multiplayer game on Xbox when party invites and system is built into the fucking operating system, Mike Ybarra? Isn't it, Mike Ybarra? Invites is built into the fucking blades, right, Mike? Right, good old Mike? Then how the fuck do you make a multiplayer game without the ability to invite your friends and team up and party up? And I can tell you right now, they got caught off by surprise because they weren't fucking doing it, because the game boots you right back to the menu. It doesn't even keep the same people together. Remember back in the Halo 2 days? Halo fucking 2. I had fucking peach fuzz on my face. I had fucking peach fuzz. Halo 2. You were playing with a bunch of people in the room. You could click on their names and say, hey, guys, let's party up. Let's stay together for the next round. We were good together, and you made friends that way. Yo, buddy. Hey, we would dominate that match. Let's stay together. Oh, guess what? They got that in Overwatch. Yeah, Overwatch has a big voting system. Yo, we did good together, us 5. I'll stay with you guys. Yeah, right. Remember, Phil, the C community. I think he said it was the C community. You make friends on Xbox. So what the fuck's that feature? No, it boots you right back and says, yeah, go rematchmake again. You're never going to play with the same people again. Go play a randoms, team deathmatch. And that's the thing. It's not even like the game mode is like Battle Royale where you just play by yourself. No. It's fucking team game. 2 team games, and you have no way to make a fucking team. The game you deserve, Crackdown fans. The game you deserve, Xbox. Food. That's the game you deserve. We're going to give you 2 game modes that involve team play, but you can't make a fucking team. Nor invite your friends to make a team. Or stay together and to make a team. And then when you get in the game, you hold the L trigger, it locks you, and you hold the R trigger. Game over. And you jump around a little bit. Well, shit falls down and does nothing. And there's your multiplayer. Bare bones, no collectibles, no special weapons, no progression, no unlockables, nothing. Nothing. Coming from the most powerful company, coming from the richest company, coming from the best online system, bar none. Right? Am I getting it? Am I missing anything? And we're going to make excuses for those decisions. Oh, media bias. Oh, they don't know how to play the game. No. They don't know how to make the game. Joseph Staten worked on Halo, worked on the party system. Where was his input? It's not wait to E3, man. Yeah, I see you guys talking wait to E3. No. It's like next generation. It's like 4 years. Let's wait 3 years. This E3 is going to be all multi-plats. Sony, I'm going to tell you right now. Sony is wrong for not going to E3. They should go there. But Sony, in this move, has put pressure on Microsoft to deliver because they're the one-man show. In addition, now, and Sony did the bullshit last year. We're just showing our games. They make Microsoft show the multi-plat games. So if you're looking for unique Xbox content, you're going to have to go through a lot of pins and needles. You're going to have to go through a lot of shit to try to find that stuff. It'll be sprinkled. It'll be Gears. Gears will be there. And maybe Ninja Theory has a great game. And that will be the biggest surprise of E3. Maybe Ninja Theory has a next level game that looks maybe like a narrative driven game like Hellblade. I don't know if it'll be a Hellblade sequel. Maybe. That would be awesome. But they're the only ones. And maybe they tease the Fable, if it is Fable. But again, you got to watch out with Fable. Playground Games can make a great racing game. But Fable, that studio's gone. And if they go and make Fable like, say it's Fable, but it doesn't look like Fable, it's going to be kind of confusing. I would like to see a modern Fable. I never really liked the design of Fable. I didn't like all that witty humor shit. I know that's what makes Fable Fable, but I really didn't need that. But I did like the combat of the wielding of the magic and stuff like that. I did like that stuff. That was pretty cool. But we'll have to see with E3. But again, it comes down to looking at your magic ball. What are these studios going to make? What is In Exile going to make? What is In Exile? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that Ori and Cuphead go to the Switch, Daniel. Hellblade's going to the Switch. I thought the other Ori and Cuphead would go there first. I wouldn't even think Hellblade would go there. But they're there. And it's just, like I said, what I do is I look at what people have told me. And not fans, and not rumors and speculation, because you know what? Everybody has their opinion and everybody does. And again, this is just my opinion. But I'm very passionate about this stuff because I feel that Xbox has lost their way. They have forced me to go to PC because they've given me options that are better than the console that they're selling. And then to PlayStation and Switch, I have to own those because they're making gaming relevant to me at this time in my life and to my kids. And we're experiencing games that are the first time, brand new experiences, new Marios, new games. Ni no Kuni 2, just new games. And I know you can play them on PC, and I got a PC for that one. But when it's upstairs in the living room, it's easier to play it on the console. But again, these are games that was not on Xbox. They're not getting there. You're missing out on games on Xbox. And before, I really didn't care, because I was satisfied with what they were providing me. I knew that they supported their system. I knew that Microsoft came out and they thought about multiplayer first. And their games were the best online and made hours upon hours of playing online. They wouldn't dare release a multiplayer like Crackdown 3 last generation, nor in the beginning of this generation. You want to know something crazy? Rise, the game Rise, the game that everybody makes, Rise had background matchmaking. You could have just queued up for a matchmaking in a co-op arena while you browse the menus. That was the first game that did it. That had some that was next level matchmaking. That it does matchmaking in the background. That was something different and new. Rise had it. And you look at Crackdown, and Crackdown has this multiplayer like this. And then you look at State of Decay 2, and it just doesn't have dedicated servers. You're tethered to your friend. You can't base build together. You can't survive together. You just progress their world. These are multiplayer decisions and design. Sea of Thieves, like I don't even think you could have done. You still can't do custom. You could party up, I think, in Sea of Thieves, but you couldn't do private matches. They added that later on. That wasn't at launch. You couldn't do a private match with your friends in Sea of Thieves. It had to be just this random public match. Because I remember seeing private matches in there. Like, I just don't know where we're going. Like, Gears, Forza, and Halo seem to be, their multiplayer seems to be intact and untouched. Forza has great multiplayer. Forza Horizon, awesome, but the season's great. Gears had safe multiplayer, but they didn't mess around with it. But man, anything outside of that, it's a fucking mess. And I just can't believe they would release the multiplayer like this and then go, oh, we're going to put it in a patch later on. You could tell it boots you back to the main menu. They were never doing this party match. The game doesn't let you stay together. It does not, like, oh, you just can't invite your friends. They just got to flip a switch. No, the thing boots you out to rematch make. So I'm sure this is going to take some time. This is not coming next week. I'll be surprised if it does. They must be working overtime then. But Crackdown is not a $60 game. And I want to tell all you guys in chat, thank you very much. 30 people watching. Hit the like button, share the video. I'm going to tell you guys, take a look at Best Buy ads. Go to cheapassgamer.com. I always use that shit. They get good sales. They tell you all the sales. But check your Best Buys. Check your Targets in the next month or so. Tax return season. And, excuse me. We'll take a look at Crackdown's price. And let's see if it goes on sale in the next 3 weeks. Not 2 weeks, because there's a two-week price match. You got to look at past 15 days. And when we go past 15 days, what's up, Jemiah? How you doing, man? What's up, Callie? How you doing? Take a look at 15 days, and we'll see if Crackdown goes on sale. I don't think it will. And if it doesn't, it's because they want you to get it in Game Pass. And I think you want to talk about media bias, conspiracy theories, things like that. I think that yeah, I'm glad you're playing Anthem. I went through Crackdown 3 today. Could beat it in a blink of an eye. Almost done with it. I got about another hour left. I think about an hour or two. And then it's done. It's it. Well done. All done. And I'm going to tell you something now. Okay? And, Xbox guys, you're probably not going to like it. And you're going to think that I'm just going goo goo gaga over Sony. But let me tell you something. If we compare Crackdown development and another game that was in just development hell or whatever happened to it, the Last Guardian. I beat The Last Guardian. And I had no intention of buying it. Actually, I played The Last Guardian in VR. There was like a little quick VR demo they did at the last 2 holidays ago. Because it didn't look that. I was like, what's this game? It was like a puzzle game. I don't want to play this shit. And I mean, that game was a development fucking longer than Crackdown. Like a 7-year, got put on hold and all the other shit. But I did the VR thing. And I was like, oh shit, look, you can control this guy. And you throw the little buckets and he follows you and all that other stuff, right? And then after I did it in the VR, I was like, It was on sale because Sony has so many fucking sales, like flash sales. That's another thing. Like, yeah, they do that all the time. They have another one now. And I played The Last Guardian. And as I'm playing it, I really like it. And I didn't think I was going to like it. And I love just yelling at the friggin' thing. The animation was absolutely amazing. Now, see, I never played all the other games by Team Echo and all Eco, and all that. I didn't play any of that stuff, but I really liked it, and I thought it was amazing on how the character didn't do anything, and how much emotion was in that stupid friggin' Falco guy, and it was friggin' amazing game. And as I was playing that game, I was going like, they had to tell this story. Like, I felt like I was looking at the archives or like something where like a game. Oh, I did. Don't you think, LM? After I beat that, I played Shadow of the Colossus remake last year, and I like that game too. That game was awesome. That was amazing. Simplistic as it is, again, it was cool as shit, and it kept you going. I didn't have to create fun. It kept me engaged, and I played through it. And I beat so many games like that because the store. I don't know what it is, but these Sony games, these games that come out of them, the character, the story, the music, it just comes together like a great movie. It's fucking so crazy. After just blowing up shit in Halo and stuff, and then go and play something like that, I'm like, I felt like when I was playing The Last Guardian, I was like, I was so happy that they released this game because as I was playing it, I'm like, this story could have never been told. And I'm like, I'm glad they were able to tell this story. And then the twist at the end and the emotion, I was just like, Mike, I'm like, I was glad. I was just like, this is a game that needed to like, and I'm like, I see why they had to release this game because they had to tell this story. It was like a really, and I'm not gonna say it was the best story ever, but it was a very emotional journey. And think of it as a book, right? As a book that nobody's reading. And I was just like, wow, they needed to tell this story. I'm glad that they decided to release it because it was very unique and interesting. And Shadow of the Colossus I thought was really cool too. And yeah, I never thought I would like those freaking games at all. I look at them like I'm not playing. Like I never played Journey. I still never played Journey. But like, I don't know if my gaming has matured. But you look at that game, and it was a joke. I remember I was like, Last Guardian, and then when the guys are crying, like, oh, they're announcing it, and the PlayStation guys are like, oh, they're crying and fainting in the crowd, like what the fuck is going on? But then I played the game, and that's right, Savage. I said it last time. Sony, and I think Nintendo somewhat, but Nintendo, I think, more makes their games for fun factor than storytelling. I think Sony's good, maybe with their movie studios, of telling a story and character. And like I said before, when you go watch that Deacon and video with, they're already trying to do it with Days Gone. Where I think if Microsoft marketed Days Gone, they'll be like, it's a zombie shooter. You just kill a bunch of zombies. Oh, look how many zombies are on the screen. They're powered by the cloud. The freakers are powered by the cloud. Nobody could do these many freakers on a screen. It has to be with 12 Xboxes, and the freakers are coming. Look how many are coming and get the guy. Oh, my God. That's Microsoft marketing Days Gone. Stay tuned on Inside Xbox. We're going to tell you more about it. And then they come in and they go, so tell us about the Days Gone, Microsoft and Inside Xbox. And they're like, well, we got 12 Xboxes here. They're powered by the cloud. Look, in typical games, you would just have 2 or 3 freakers on the screen. But we got 50, and they're all running individually with AI. powered with Havoc physics. By the way, we own Havoc. Simplagon Tech is here. It's going to be day one in Game Pass, but it's going to be online only because the cloud could power this many freakers. And, oh, look, here we go. Look at this. Aaron Greenberg. He's dressed up as a freaker. Here he comes. I'm Aaron Greenberg. I'm a freaker. That's Microsoft mocking the power of the cloud with the freakers. But watch Sony now takes Days Gone and they look at the freaking, and you're like, oh, this looks like a regular zombie game. But now they're flipping it and they're making this emotion with him and his wife. And if you watch the trailer, the connection, just think how Gears of War did it with that amazing commercial with the song from Donnie Darko, and they had that emotion and the darkness, and he sees the Brumac. That was art. That was telling a story. And that's where we should be. Like, Microsoft should get that magic back. And when you look at how they did Days Gone, they made it like the wedding, and look at the face and the emotion of his wife as they're getting married, and the eye connect. Like, it's all motion capped. Like, it's all captured from actors. And it adds so much realism and value. Same thing with Spider-Man. You know, when you watch the cutscenes and stuff, you want to watch them. You don't want to skip them. Infamous, Second Son, same thing. They got a story to tell. And I think actually the story in Crackdown, I think was well written. Like, I think it could have been written. It just was poorly implemented. Like, I think it's cool where, you know, your agent falls and the blackout and stuff like that. And Astral Chain looks good too. You're right, LM. And yeah, and watching that Nintendo Direct after watching Inside Xbox and XO18, it's like, I don't know. They know what's going on. I don't know. And you know what? That was a knife in my heart, the Scalebound, because Scalebound was something that I know people make fun and they go Scalebound, Jez, what the fuck? Why are we talking about Scalebound? Because it was something different. It was something exclusive that Microsoft has not done before. It was new. And it looked awesome. It was a great concept. It was cool as hell. And that's it. And that's the other thing that has come up too. And you think, you know, people are just hating on Crackdown, but what you really got to look to is read between the lines. Look at what reviewers are saying. And I think Polygon came out with an article, and they were like saying this is good and bad for Microsoft. Like, is this what we're gonna get? And you gotta, I'm sorry, Coffins, like, is this what we should expect from Microsoft? Like, budget games and Game Pass from them? And I don't know if this is their model, but if you look at it, it looks like they drop a game in the spring that's very mediocre. Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3. A little game in the summer, which was State of Decay 2, could be Ori this year. And then their big game in the fall, Forza Horizon 4 and Gears of War. And maybe next year, it turns around and it goes, maybe Ninja Theory's game in the spring. Maybe it's a better game than these, I hope. A little game, and then Halo. Maybe that's their model. But unfortunately, Crackdown fans like it. Good. I'm not telling you not to like this game. But if you look in the narrative, it's starting to switch because the media now, and you can say whatever media bias there is, and you know what? I just can't. I understand maybe there's some websites like it's called dual shockers. Yeah, maybe they'll have some bias to Sony and stuff like that. But when you have games like when you have websites like Windows Central giving it a 6, and you have websites that focus on Microsoft and Xbox products giving it bad reviews, like True Achievements and stuff like that, like those should be a little eye-opening. And I don't think that everybody's all coming together going, let's kill this game. Because guess what? Without games, all those fucking guys will be out of a job. If they shit on all those games and the gaming industry goes to hell because all the games are bad, those guys don't have anything to write about. It's self-inflicting wounds if they shit on all the games, especially shit on somebody. So, like, it doesn't make sense for them to all conspire to kill gaming, tell you not to buy a game. But they discredit their website if they say it's amazing, a 9 out of 9, and then you go play it and you're like, yo, this is not no 9 out of 10. I'm never going to your website again. Like, these guys gotta have some sort of thing. And also, too, I like Giant Bomb. Watch Giant Bomb. They play through it. And they're critiquing it as they're playing. And a lot of the criticisms, the same things, have been said by similar people. Like, there are games that do it better, campaign-wise. And to think that the trash-ass multiplayer that's now in this game has hurt the single-player experience, it's horrible. And it's not like, and again, it is not a broken game. It is not a game that is broken. It's just that it is undercooked. And there is no content in it. And there's no longevity to the game. You could play it in a night, in an evening. And yeah, you'll say, okay, it was good. And if that's how you experience games, then fine. But if you're really invested into gaming and you spent a lot of money and you are subscribing for a service, both online, Xbox Live, and Game Pass service, and you bought 4 consoles, TVs, Dolby Atmos, because they told you to do support Dolby Atmos, and you invested your hard-earned money, you deserve better. And that's who I'm speaking about. When you spend money and you want the best, and this is what I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to get any better than first party. The people that made the hardware are the people that are going to demonstrate what their hardware and services do when they work together. And they know it best. First party is your go-to. First party is your tent pole. And you got to know that, because without Halo, there will be no Xbox. Without Mario, there will be no Nintendo. And without Kratos, and without, I don't even know that many fucking Sony IPs. Twisted Metal, Tekken. Sony had a lot of deals. Like, Sony during the PlayStation 2 generation had a lot of default exclusives because of the Japanese origin and their connections with Japanese developers. Yeah, Jeff was go play Crackdown 1 in 4K. The backwards compatibility bit him in the ass there. And, you know, people go, well, No Man's. I saw something Savage brings up No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky got hate and all this other stuff. The thing is that it was an indie developer. And fine, it was a group that didn't make anything. When we're talking these games right now and why you're so upset, this is the best that Microsoft is giving us. This is their first party. These are the people who made the machine that you're playing on. You know, if you have a chef in a restaurant who developed a recipe, what happens if that chef cooks his own recipe and his food is worse quality than somebody who just comes off the street and just makes a hamburger or makes something? You would expect the guy who invented the recipe would make it the best. The chef that made the recipe, that created this thing, it's his ingredients, his idea, his blend. That's the best. That's first party. We should not be making excuses going, it's just Crackdown, whatever. This is what Microsoft thinks their Xbox fans want. This is the quality that Microsoft wants their Xbox studios to have. And if you look at this, how do we sit here and go, oh my God, they're going to do magic with the developing studios they have right now in 4 years from now? You don't know that. And all we know is what they've given us and what they said about this game before they gave it to us. And it's not very reliable information. Like, I don't have amazing trust in them when they told me they delayed this game for quality. When Game Pass is an option. No, it sounds like it's more of the future than an option. Remember, it was just an option. Yeah, but they're going real strong on that option. So you go like the game. And like I said, it's not a bad game. It's a perfect game for Game Pass. And I think Jeff said it the same way in his review. He's like, I cannot recommend this game for $60 at all. It is a robbery. It is a disgrace that when I was at Target, I saw that game for $60. I'm like, oh my God. They should have a Game Pass sticker on the box going, don't buy it here, buy it on Game Pass. They should educate their consumer with a Game Pass sticker on it. But they're being fucking slick. They're trying to get people to pay $60 for it. Meanwhile, all their intentions was that this game was for Game Pass. And that's my problem. Why is this game $60? And why don't you say it's on Game Pass, like a little sticker on the box? Oh, no. No, because you want to get those suckers for $60. Meanwhile, all your design decisions, all your content decisions, same thing with Sea of Thieves. Is all for Game Pass. It's for that subscription model. And you're deceiving the customer. So if you're gonna go and make games for Game Pass, which I'm not a fan of it, because I think you don't do your IP justice. And Crackdown 3, from what I played, there's nothing to say we're gonna come out with another Crackdown unless they come out with another watered down Crackdown campaign. Hey, there you go, Game Pass fodder. Let's put it in Game Pass. But you got to remember, this is also being sold as a $60 game. And when you look at those reviews, a lot of them are not giving the Game Pass score. A lot of them are not saying, well, it's in Game Pass, so we're going to give it an 8. No. They're writing those reviews for people that are going to go out into a store and see Crackdown for $60 on shelves. And go, yo, there's 3 maps in this game and a 4 or 6 hour campaign. It's not worth $60. And that's the predicament that Microsoft has right now. Game Pass, they're competing with themselves. And I'm just disgusted that the cloud and multiplayer ruined what could have been a good Crackdown game. Because it's there. The jumping, the platforming, the orb collecting, the leveling up, your guy changing. Now, actually, the coolest thing is the spider car. Your car turns into a spider and you can drive up wall or drive up buildings. That's fun as shit. There's some great ass weapons. There's a tether. There's the black hole grenade. There's fire grenades. There's actually a duplicate weapon where if you pick up an item and hit the right bumper, you actually could just respawn it. So if you pick up a guy, you could just keep respawning people and throwing them. Or you could keep respawning explosive barrels and throwing them instead of a grenade. There are cool things there. But again, just a huge disappointment. Campaign is short, Savage. 6 hours. About 6 hours. I did about 4 or 5 hours today. I got 2 bosses left. I probably could have beat it in another 2-3 hours later. Yeah. I think it's less than the first game. And there's like 6 bosses. And the thing is, to get the bosses out, like I said before early on in the show, is that you basically just do a side mission of like blowing up the same thing 6 times. And then you get out the boss. And you do that for the 3 bosses. Until you get to the main one. Who's in a tower. You spend more time climbing the tower, then you just shoot them and they go up one more level. And then from what I heard, I didn't beat it yet. Probably beat it. There's 500 achievements in the multiplayer. I played 1 game, came in first. I got 21% of my achievements. 21% of the achievements, 1 game. I came in first. Even the achievements, they hand them out to you like crazy. Same thing in the multiplayer. Let me just take a look. I have where is it? I think I played 5 hours of it. I'm gonna look at my stats right now. I'll tell you how many achievements I have. Shit. Fucking Xbox app. Yeah. Campaign I got about 20 because I'm sure it's all collectibles and all that other stuff. But Wrecking Zone, yeah, 26%. 130 achievements out of 500. I play out of I got majority of those in 1 game that I came in first. So that's easy 500 in the Wrecking Zone because it's its own app. But the campaign, yeah, campaign got my 21. They got like blow up a bunch of cars, but again, it's so shallow. But again, play it. If you have it in Game Pass, you might as well play it. And that's my opinion. It's like, if it's in Game Pass. But don't go spend $60 on it. And, is this the future? Is this what we get from them? As Game Pass gets bigger and bigger and bigger, do you think they're going to make a blockbuster $60, 10, 15 map game? Like I was telling Frogs while I was playing. I was like, you know what? I could see what they did to this multiplayer. Who knows if they do that with Gears of War? What happened? They go, well, you think Gears of War is going to be a 10-hour campaign co-op, and then it's going to have like 10 maps with 6 game modes and full-fledged game on day 1? I don't know. Or do you think Gears will be more about the single player and maybe have only 2 or 3 game modes in multiplayer with a few maps? just a little taste, and they're just going to they're going to use the maps and the game modes as the way to keep you subscribed to Game Pass. You think that model might work? Do we choose A or do we think B? Do you think you can get everything in the kitchen sink on day one for Gears of War 5? Or do you think that they might give you the rest of the game with maps and stuff later on? And maybe we're featuring these 2 new game modes. Do the 2 game modes with maybe 5 maps. There's Gears of War multiplayer. Or you think they give all of them? I don't know. I'm leaning more towards B. I know. And that's the thing, Daniel. People are playing the game. And to Microsoft, that's a win. You know, I look at my Crackdown campaign and I got like 30, 40 people playing it. Friends played already, right? That's the power of Game Pass. And to Microsoft, that's a win. That's it. They don't give a shit about the review scores. I don't know if they care too much because they just care that people are playing the game. Whether it's a good game, whether it's a bad game. 38 people on my friend list have played it. Now, you're playing a short game with bare bones multiplayer. Are you happy? They'll be happy. They're not going to change. You know, as much as I yell and scream and grind my gears on here, they already know what they're going to do. I'm not changing anything. I just come on here and express my frustration and the hypocrisy sometimes that comes out of their mouth. The promises that they make. The things that they tell us and then don't follow through. Because I've been burnt so many times by Microsoft as a whole on their promises. And I just had enough. Because I invested a lot of money and belief. And I bought things for other people based on their vision, their ideals, their features that they offered, and then they took away. And I'm just done with it because they continue to do it. Promise of Connect. I beta tested the original Connect. They made me keep it. Like, just done. And I'm Sony will do the same shit. And then I'll piss on them when they do it. Like, you lied about that crossplay thing. I don't give a shit. Crossplay, like I said, with great power comes great responsibility. You want crossplay to work? You better make sure it works on your system. Don't leave it up to a dev. You have to guide the dev on what's good and what works. You have the Game Pass problem. You have the CFDs problem. The dev, Microsoft themselves, didn't know how to handle crossplay on CFDs. And now a year later, they're backtracking. But it's getting late, guys. And my voice is gone. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming out. The grinders out there. Like, share the video, subscribe. Crackdown 3, perfect for Game Pass. That's where it'll live. And I recommend you try it out in Game Pass. I don't know if you should subscribe to Game Pass just for Crackdown 3. But, you know, like I said, it's not a broken game. It's just, again, another one of those unfortunate games that Microsoft took my voice. They did. Unfortunate games that, again, had some ray of hope, but the tech got to it. And the tech killed the game. And they made that game for the tech, not for the gamer, because there are some crazy-ass decisions that were not implemented in this game that would have made it a better game. But that's where the grind goes out. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. I want to thank you all for the support, subscriptions. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'll keep doing it. But when they grind my gears, I'm getting on here. But I want to thank you very much, guys. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. See you later. Grinders. I'm out.